All right, hello Internet, Rob here from A Minor Error with a new audio production review for the GGD compressor called Smash and Grab. This is something I recently checked out. I've been going through this process of trying to get my drums closer and closer sounding to like basically the Periphery kind of sound. Because I'm doing everything now with GGD products for my drum sounds. Started off with Modern and Massive, and then recently got the P4 kit, which I really like because of the additional cymbals, and I also really do like how the shells sound as well. But I felt like I wasn't really nailing the sound, and I'd watched some Nolly mix masterclass videos, and it set up compressors and some things to try to emulate what Smash and Grab was doing in the different production settings, and just wasn't really happy with how it was sounding. So Smash and Grab is like $100. You do get quite a lot for that. A lot of times these sort of products kind of make me roll my eyes a little, because it's they got a knob where you're supposed to set it to whatever you're working on, and then it's supposed to basically kind of take care of everything itself. This is obviously a little more involved than that, and it does have more than just like a one knob, kind of a plug-in. And after watching more videos with him working with it, I decided it was time to check it out, and I'm really happy that I did. The Periphery has such a specific sound, or like the Nolly drum sound seems very specific, and he uses certain techniques to help get that sound, and really, the Smash and Grab just makes it quicker and easier. So what I had done was I was trying to basically emulate what he was doing. I was using my own compressor and then trying to use a saturation plugin after the fact, and the problem was the saturation plugin that I had is just the soft tube saturation knob plugin, which is awesome, but it really didn't do what the saturation knob does here. So anyway, long story short, I'll show you guys the couple ways that I'm using Smash and Grab. Right now I have it on, kind of everything actually. I'm using it on the kick, I'm using it on the snare, and I'm really happy with what it's doing to the snare now, both on my snare bus and, more importantly, the room. The room is the other one that, to really nail that Periphery sound, this is just going to help speed up that process and make it much easier. So there's two different sides of the plugin. You've got Smash and you've got Grab. Smash is when you want to really over kind of compress things, like what you would be doing on like a room mic, and then basically mix it in. And then the Grab side is more your what you would be doing on your snare or your toms, is where you're going to want to use the Grab side. So I think what I'll do is I'll have my little demo play so that you guys can get familiar with the track. As always, chapters down below so you can skip around. But first we'll have my guitar playthrough so you can check out the track with everything in the mix. And I'll kind of solo out the drums, show how I was using the plugin, and give kind of my overall sort of thoughts. Okay, so that was my track for this little demo review that I made for a Legator guitar. And I think what I'll do is I'll just basically play it with the drums on solo so you can hear the drums kind of isolated, and then specifically take a look at what it was doing on the snare and especially the room. I think that's where Smash and Grab really shines. I do also like using it, like I've got it on my toms, and I think, just as a regular kind of compressor where you're just trying to, accentuate that attack. It works great as well, but you could really realistically use any old compressor for something like that to get that like specific, Nolly or Periphery drum sound. That's where, I've been impressed with it. But anyway, I'll stop talking. We'll kind of just check out the drums for a second, and then I'll kind of go through each instrument a little bit more isolated. So that's what my drums are sounding like in isolation. I'm pretty happy with this. I think I'm getting really close to that sound. It's been a little bit of a learning curve here. So I think first we'll just start with my snare, and kind of go through that processing and basically just turn Smash and Grab on and off. So I'm really happy with how that sounds. For my snare, I'm blending between GGD, P4, and Modern and Massive. I have the snare from Modern and Massive turned down pretty low in the mix, both in the room and everything, but it's not just straight the P4 snare. The big trick that Nolly was talking about in the video was using the saturation to basically clip it after you're compressing it. I'm pretty happy with how that's sounding, and I'm definitely really happy with what Smash and Grab is doing here. It's all about kind of controlling and sculpting that sound, and in metal music especially, the kick and really the snare drum is just so important. It's got to cut, and it has to really fill that space really well. And I think that's been the hardest thing for me in my productions, and I think this is definitely getting it there now with this kind of trick. So that's what the close mic'd snare is sounding like with just the grab on. And I will check out the room mic, because the room is really the other big part of getting this sort of periphery drum sound going. And really it's all about how you're compressing or really over compressing that room to bring out that excitement. Having the ability to just basically snap it to whatever it is you're working on, dial in that threshold and basically be done. I do have a little bit of the air turned on here as well, but otherwise, really quick and easy, and then automatically, kind of getting that explosive room sound that you really need to get that excitement out of the snare drum and really the tone out of the snare drum. And then with Smash Grab off. So I'm really happy with what that's doing. I feel like I'm finally really getting that room sound and really kind of nailing it. So I'll bring in the close mic snare so you can kind of hear that, together. Then with the full kit. Okay, so we'll take a look at the kick now. What I'm going to do is, I was actually using Smash and Grab on the kick, but originally I was using the Slate digital compressor, and I think realistically they're doing pretty close to the same thing. I felt like the Smash and Grab was maybe bringing out a little bit more body and bass. If you're not listening on headphones or good reference speakers, you probably won't be able to hear the difference. But realistically, I think they're about doing the same thing. Honestly, I chose to use Smash and Grab just because I just got it, and let's use it, right? So we'll just kind of do the kick. It's isolated on its own, and I'll go back and forth between the two of these. Like I said, I think they're doing about the same thing. I think they're very similar. I do like Smash and Grab a little bit more, but if you were on the fence and $100 was like a deal breaker for you, I don't think this is the sort of application where you have to have Smash and Grab in order to get, that kind of sound. For me, the Smash and Grab is all about that snare and all about that room. I really couldn't nail it any other way. So final thoughts on Smash and Grab. Overall, I really, really like it. For someone that is like me and potentially has, like, I'm part of the Slate digital bundle, so I get all the Slate products. If you're someone like that and you've already got like a bunch of different compressors and you're not going for that specific kind of sound, I don't know if it's absolutely necessary, but if you're really trying to do the Periphery drum thing and really nail that sound, I think it's designed to work with the GGD drum sample libraries. So it's like, if you're going for that sound, the easiest way is to pick up Smash and Grab. For the snare close mic and for the room mic, I think it's worth the price of admission for the plugins. I think they're really well designed. The workflow is very intuitive. I really love the saturation knob being included here. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different uses for this. The ability to change it around from different types of saturation quickly and easily is great. You've also got a even more sort of extreme setting that you can put the compressor on, and it does also have a pro setting where you can really dig in there and fine tune, so for the air band, what frequency is the air specifically going to be accentuating. Same thing for the low end on the beef. You also have the ability to control the ratio and the attack and release. That's basically all this knob is doing. When you switch it to the room, it's automatically changing these settings so that they're to what Nolly would normally be setting it at. And I didn't go to school for music production. I went for playing guitar, and learning music production has been a kind of a long sort of journey now. And I've gotten good at, figuring out those settings on my own, or at least decent enough at it. But yeah, there is something to be said about, the ease of just flipping a knob on, dialing in the threshold, dialing in some saturation if you want that, and being done, especially if you're like me and you're sort of bedroom music producer. Speed and efficiency you really can't hate on. So I think overall I really, really like these. I think $100 for basically you're getting two different compressor styles is a really nice bargain. I mean, or a really decent kind of price point. And if you happen to shop around, GGD is always doing sales and things. I know I got the Modern and Massive library and the P4 library like super marked down. It was basically half off for both of these. So the value, I think, is really solid for what this is. I think the GGD stuff in general is really well done. It's really well designed. It's very clever on their part as well. They're going to record a new record, so then they create a new drum sample out. I mean, the Periphery guys are so good at figuring out how to monetize every aspect of their band, which I am a little jealous of. I mean, it's super clever. But their products are first class, and for nailing that Periphery drum sound, I think Smash and Grab is just going to make it quicker and easier, and you can beat your head against the wall like I was doing and try to make it work otherwise, but unless you have thousands of dollars worth of, specific saturation plugins, it's going to be hard to nail, those little tricks. So I would definitely recommend them. I think it's, for $100, definitely worthwhile.